Welcome back to another video. We're actually doing something slightly different this time. I'm going to be doing a little review on a product that I've been sent. Brand Popo Soap sent me their underwater lights, and as spring was arriving, I thought I'd be spending more time in the garden, so I thought, yeah, let's go for it. And they sent me these lights, so we're going to do a little review on these lights and see how they look on the DIY pond. So let's get started. So the package came quite quickly, and in this quite simple box, but we've got really good clear instructions there. These lights were 6 individual lights, and these are the plug-in version. They do have solar versions as well, but I thought, well, I wanted to go for this plug-in version just to make sure they were as bright. I had heard things about solar lights, but I never tried them myself, but I wanted to try the plugged version myself. I was actually really impressed with they're quite weighty as well, the lights, which I know is one of the features. They say that you don't have to screw them down at all. There's no way to screw them down because they're supposed to be just weighted, and they do sort of move as well, which I thought was a great feature, but I'm not sure whether it's going to be something that limits where I can place them, so we'll get to that in a minute. But there were 6 of those LEDs in the box, and as I say, quite weighty. The cable length seemed very, very good, which is something that I was a bit worried about, placing them around the edge of the pond. Potentially I'm going to spread them from the pond into flower beds as well, that kind of thing. But yeah, we've got that really long cable, as you can see, and I guess it was a time to give them a go. Now, it was getting to spring now, which is, I think, the perfect time to pop these lights on, because it meant that I could come out in the evening and actually see my fish that I spend all this time looking after, so I might as well actually be able to see them more. So it came with this long length, as you can see, and as I said, I wasn't sure how to mount them. I thought I could mount them behind the pond, sort of up on the wall like that, pointing downwards, so almost like spotlights. I didn't really want to put them under the water. These are IP68 rated, and I've been told by the manufacturer that they can be used for, there's no limit on how long they can last underwater. They are waterproof, but I fancied having them pointing down from the top of my pond. It comes with this little remote, as you can see, and there's lots of different features on that remote, which we will get to explore together. Pop that in the little tub, don't need that. And yeah, so it's really thin remote. I'd probably keep that in the house, me personally, so just before I was about to step outside, I'd just pop it on and I could then come down and enjoy the fish. So I thought it was time to actually get them set up. So you can see I didn't actually install them by attaching them in any way, which actually they're not supposed to do. They are just weighted pond lights. So you can see how I positioned them on the edge. I wanted to just get an idea really of where the light should be coming from and what it would look like. So I obviously had to wait till it was a bit darker for that to happen. As the lights started to go out, I did have my main floodlight over the pond, and my main floodlight would sort of light up the whole area there. That's when I'm doing changing the filter or doing some kind of work on the filter or anything like that. Whereas these lights, I wanted to, and they do work in that way, be a bit more subtle, so actually directly point into the water and showcase the fish's colours, that kind of thing. So I thought that I could potentially mount them down, and if I'm going to do that, unfortunately they don't tilt enough for me to do that, either on the back wall or on the edge, and any of those ways would require me to potentially make a little bracket. I thought I could 3D print one, or I could just screw through the housing, drill and screw through the housing and then attach them, which if I did it slowly they wouldn't snap or crack, sorry. So that is something I would do, and it's definitely something I'm going to consider in the future. So these can go underwater, that's what I've been told, but I wanted them to be pointing down at the fish. So because of the angle they can be pointed at, for me that meant we couldn't have them, I'd have to kind of create some kind of brackets to hold them. So I just wanted to point that out. I wanted to do a really honest review of these lights, so I'm just telling you exactly what I thought when I managed to get them laid out. So you can see there's that floodlight which is pointing down on the pond, and I'd probably have them laid out like this. So I'd have 3 at one end, 3 at the other end, just to try and give myself a lot more lighting. That filter is moving, by the way. It's not going to be there forever. It's I'm building a little pond, a little filter inside the shed. So if you want to see that, you can always follow along and see how I build the DIY filter. But let's actually have a quick look at them at night. That's where they really do shine, and I was really happy with how it looks. I'm definitely going to think of a way to install these permanently, pointing down into the pond, because it gives it such a nice look compared to that floodlight above it. It's really subtle, it's not in my eyes, to be honest with you. So these are strong lights. I'm not saying they're not strong, but they're just not in my face like the floodlight was, and I can really see that red, that Benny on the fish sort of shining really nicely. Again, they did come with this remote, and it does have lots of different actual, to be honest, colours, capabilities. You can sort of do modes where it's nighttime mode. You can have a timer where it comes on at certain times. We can also change the colours, where you can see here I did change the colours a little bit. So we've got blue, we've got what's that, orangey, red, green. Now personally, I'd probably just have it on the white light. You can actually have a kind of disco effect, so it turns it on and off, and it's almost like, you know, party mode, I guess you'd say. But it's not, for me, I would probably just have it on the white light, if I'm honest with you, because that shows off the colours really well. So that's, there you go, back to the white light. There we go, you can see the white light now. And that is, in my opinion, really showing off those fish lovely, and I'm definitely going to think of a way to install these more permanently. So if this is something that you'd be interested in, do go and have a check on their website, Poposoap. They've got lots of solar equipment as well. It's not just things that are plugged in. I just chose plugged in because I had a power supply already there, but I know that some people don't always have that. So if you wanted to have a look at things that are solar operated, that kind of means you don't have to have them. So this is my kind of situation, that I thought the angle they could turn down at, I would probably have to mount them either on the side, pointing down, or create some kind of small brackets. And there's a chance that I could do some 3D printing and get that done. You don't have to use them like that, obviously, that's just how I want to. I did think about positioning a couple. Obviously the Acer's not quite out at the moment, but I wanted to point upwards, and I thought that would look really nice sort of at night time when you look down to the end of the garden. I've got an Acer one side of my pond, and I've got a kind of, I guess a moss log and stuff the other side. So I thought it'd be nice if it was pointing up, and you could do that as well. You could position these, as I say, they're fully waterproof, so you can get rained on and everything. They could be pointing up, and it would be nice. So that looked really good. And the other bonus was I managed to spy a little fry. So as the lights were on, they were creating a little kind of silhouette of this small fry, and I think that is the one fry that survived when I did breed goldfish, or try to breed goldfish this year. I've got lots more videos on the way, so hopefully you enjoyed this one, but yeah, there'll be more coming out soon. And yeah, if you fancy subscribing, please do, and head on over to Poposoap and have a look at these lights. And thanks for watching, I do really appreciate it, and all the comments as well. It gives me a little bit of motivation to keep making these videos, so thanks a lot again.